Next up, we have the kama. The kama is one of our weapons that we use in Kokusai Ringokai Kobudo. It actually is a farmer implement. It was used for harvesting grain, harvesting wheat, harvesting rice. It could be used to clearing tree branches off, of making paths through the jungle. There's several different things that this could be used for. We have them in modern times as well, and we typically refer to them as a scythe or a sickle. It's as simple as that. Understanding how you hold the weapon. I see a lot of people holding it in the middle. This is actually incorrect. You should hold it with basically about a ½ inch to an inch maximum towards the base of the weapon. That is very important that you do that from an onset. This type of stuff is all about doing this wrist rolling and things like that. We're not concerned about that. We're concerned about actually how the weapon was designed and what it was for. So when you're looking at how you manipulate the weapon, there are several ways to practice this. I have my students traditionally start here, and then I have them pinch the weapon. As you notice, I slid it up so it slides through the palm and goes back and goes on the outside of the arm. Now you're going to notice the blade is always pointing to the outside. It never points inward. You don't want it here, and you definitely don't want it here, because even though most people don't use real ones, these are razor sharp, they will cut you. Okay? So that's how you do that, and then you just reverse the motion. So you're going to slide the weapon down a little bit, move it through the palm, and then flip it back up. And as you notice, I keep my fingers right where it should be on the end. So just work on manipulate and manipulate. And just like the side, this is a weapon that you actually have to work both sides on. So you want to work on keeping it there and keeping the tip of the weapon, as you can see, pointed away from you. Never want to roll it in. This is very, very vital, because if you can't get to this point of working this weapon, you're going to struggle with everything you do in Kobudo. Okay, because in our katas we have a lot of kama manipulation. All right, some of the basic ones that I like to teach my students is what I call the open and slice and dice. So we're going to start from that high block position with inverted kama, and you're going to open the weapon, and then you're going to cut across and then down. Shift back to a shiko, cut and down. Shiko, cut and down. Using that hip motion to create power. Just like that. Next one that I'm going to show you from the side is called the around the world cut. These are both found in Shoguro no Kama. That's one of the reasons why we work on these heavily. So you're going to go from your high block position in your shiko, you're going to open the weapon, set it down, rotate it back to that closed position, but then shift and cut down. So high, rotate, and down. High, rotate, and down. Now from the front it looks like this, and strike. Here, cut through. I always talk about you're nicking somebody. Here and then down and cut. Here, cut through and down. Beginners are permitted to do here, open, close, and then cut. Here, open, close, and then cut. But the goal is to get it so that that weapon is nice and smooth motion when you're doing that cut. Opening both of them and learning to control them is extremely important. The kama is a great weapon. It's one of my favorite weapons, as a matter of fact. I know probably 16, 17 different versions of kata for this particular weapon. The neat thing about it is there's no limitation to what you can and cannot do with this weapon in terms of how you use it, manipulate it, and strike with it. It's a very, very good weapon to learn. So that's some basic fundamentals on the kama. As always, you got to learn most of the hard stuff in the dojo, because it does take expert instruction to get it down. Once again, beginners don't use the live blade kama. Get good with the basic ones, then work your way into the live blade ones. You don't want to get cut. I've cut myself. It's not fun. So make sure that you focus on getting the manipulations down, controlling the weapon, keeping the tip of the weapon away from the body at all times, never pointing it at yourself. Okay? Especially when you're doing punches. As you can see, the weapon's pointed out so I can punch without having to be fear of cutting myself here. So I can punch, and then I can manipulate. Okay? That's pretty much it on the kama. Any questions, hit me up in the dojo. I'll talk to you guys soon.